Hey, fellow birdies. Welcome back to another edition of Mr. Songbird's Writing Mukbang. It's been a while on one of these, I know. I want to apologize first for being a little bit late this week. I was originally planning to, do a live stream perhaps, or a relatively small video, but this week has been a mess. I apologize for that. Now, today, I've got 3 excellent foods. Of those, I've had 2 of these before. This is new. This is a dragon drink. I have these. Whenever my dad would go to Starbucks, I'd get one with him. He'd get a coffee for some reason because he likes coffee. Don't know why. Who actually likes coffee? Okay, I know a lot of people like coffee, but I don't. But it's my favorite drink there. Birthday cake pop. How can you go wrong with that? And I believe this is what's the word? A double bacon Gouda sandwich. Had to check. Now, first, hope you folks have been having a wonderful week or day. That sounds going to be morning when I post this. Now, I'm going to go over a few things. First, I want to update everyone on the progress of my book. First, I'm going to drink some of this. This thing is massive. I went for the train ticket because I was like, how did it goes bigger than Bainty? I'm curious. Definitely good. Kind of tastes like, I think it tastes a bit of whipped cream in it. It's been a while since I've had one of these, so maybe I'm forgetting that I had that too. But let's see it. First, I want to up to speed on the progress of my main book. I'm currently at roughly 45,000 words, and I believe we're in the equivalent of Act 3, like just starting it now. So I'd say I'm about 2/3 of the way through the book. Oh, and before I forget, thanks to lovely Jayla and Rainbow Ducks for this idea. I know it was on Crystal's channel that I saw it, but it's like it looked so good I wanted to have it. Now, I've been trying to get my writing in a bit earlier each day. So even though it's like 5 o'clock now, I just have only got like 10 minutes left. I'm hoping to be done by, like 6, shortly after we're done with this video. Now, I've been working on 2 stories primarily. One is the second book of the Path of the Magi series. The other is a Ranma 1/2 fanfic. For those of you who haven't checked out, Ranma's a lot of fun. Now, let me have this cake pop. I love birthday cake flavor. Like when I used to go to Ben and Jerry's, I also used to get the birthday cake flavor one. Very good. Well, I also want to apologize on another front. Well, no, I apologize, but basically let you guys know that I'm going to be trying to catch up on my comments this week. I know I've let that get behind, and I'll be trying to do better going forward. Although eventually I imagine that the comment section will become so crowded that I won't be able to maintain the, replying to every comment like I have been. If and when that day comes, I'm planning to, basically do I'll reply to the first 10 or 15 comments per video. And, past that I'll basically, if it looks really interesting, Maybe I say that. Not the first, the best 10 or 15 comments per video. Now, today's topic I want to go over is voice. And that's not like my voice, it means character voice in your stories. I'm going to use the main protagonists for both the stories I'm writing to illustrate this. Now, for those of you who haven't read the first book of the Path of Magi series, the main character is Rian Miel. He is a noble. He's rather well educated. He's quite smart. And as such, I basically write him more or less like myself in terms of how he thinks. So in short, you're going to see a lot of indeeds. Because, you know. Now, when he speaks, what he likes to do, and what I like to do with him is no contractions, except for like one tiny contraction and one bit of dialogue in the entire first book. The rest of the entire book had no contractions ever stated by him. And that one scene was a very emotional scene. Not bad. I think I've had better ones. Like I think actually for the McDonald's, like ham and cheese bagel, if I recall correctly. But this isn't bad. I'm pretty sure it's probably a bit healthier, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, let me contrast it with Ranma, the other main character of the fanfic I'm writing. For those of you who haven't watched the series, Ranma he's not stupid. He's not like an idiot hero. He's not like Goku or Naruto or Yusuke Urameshi, for those of you who watch Yu Yu Hakusho. He's decently smart, especially even outside of battle. But he likes to use informal terms, like be a pal and beat me up kind of thing. So that impacts how I'm going to describe both how I put his dialogue, as well as how I'm going to write his descriptions. His description of stuff around him, I will generally substitute somewhat more basic verbs and adjectives and descriptors. Definitely like that. So I'm trying to think of a good example from a scene I wrote. And also, he's going to basically use more like, yeah, kind of terms. Like, yeah, that was a pain kind of thing. Like he's a teenager after all. Now, the point of voice in this case is your character's point of view doesn't just determine what he does. It determines what he thinks, what he sees. I think I mentioned this in the description video previously. Excuse me. But not only will it describe what the character sees, it'll determine how they see it and how they describe what they see. So while one character might say, the rose bloomed a violent shade of crimson. Another character might say, the red rose fell against his face. Now, they're both describing the same exact thing. Well, maybe I shouldn't say the second one because it technically said fell on his face, but the red rose, sprouted on the path before him. Both tell them a little bit how the character views. Like first one, they go for a specific shade of red. Second one, they just call it's red, no big deal. Honestly, I'd probably more like the second one because I don't really do well with the different shades of colors. I just see like, okay, this is brown, that's black, that's blue over there. Now, mind you, this advice is mostly if you're writing what's called third-person limited or first-person point of view. In third-person limited, or let me first go with the obvious. First person means I am, I see, I thought, kind of thing. It's all I language. Like, obviously, you'll describe him, but when the character is thinking, it's in I terms. When they're doing something, it's in I terms. Third person limited is, you're describing the character. So like you might say, Charles got up from the table with a thud. Not sure why there's a thud there, but you know what I'm saying. The difference between that and what's called third person omniscient is, in third person limited, we're stuck inside that one character's head. And we can only, see what he sees. Third person omniscient, you're going to see that mostly in typically works from the 19th century, I think, more. Possibly relatively, basically older books. It's fallen significantly out of favor because basically the narrator is describing it rather than the character is describing it. It doesn't have that intimacy with the character that third person limited does. But for that one, you wouldn't worry so much about how the character sees it because the narrator is going to be describing it. So you describe it how the narrator would. And in third person, it's going to be something like, Charles got up from his chair with a thud, not knowing that when he did, he'd forgotten to put his shirt on the right side out. Sorry, just making sure. Because I've actually done that before. Yeah. Oops, moment there. One moment. And the way you can tell it's omniscient is you're going to see quite a few things that the character won't notice, but the narrator does. And like I said, it's not to say that you can't use third person omniscient, but it's less popular because people generally like to really feel like they're in that person's shoes, whoever is the character at the time. But let's see now. Point is that when you're doing one of those points of view that does have that kind of intimacy with the character, you want to dial it up if possible. And voice is an excellent way to do it because you're not just describing it like how you see it, you're describing how the character sees it. It lets them really get into their head. Now, one moment. There's a lot of things you can learn on that. Some simple stuff, like I said, just to use descriptors that match how the character would think. Use, how should I put it? Use dialogue the character would use. Like if your character has an accent in dialogue, feel free to use it. And you can get often get accent without even changing like apostrophes. Like you'll see that sometimes where like they replace, or is it apostrophe? Yes, apostrophe. Like A is a great person kind of thing. You can get that effect sometimes of just keeping the writing as is, but putting in a certain order. I think I saw an excellent scene of that. I forget what book it was from. It'll come to me some other time, probably outside of this video, unfortunately. But in short, your character is a unique person with a unique point of view and a unique way of seeing the world. Take advantage of that. Don't make your characters think and see everything in such similar shape in order that you wonder if, okay, who am I in again? Are they clones of each other? Because if you do, it kind of breaks that immersion a little bit. But that's all the time I have for today. Oh, I want to let you guys know something. My weight loss journey is continuing well. I'm almost down by 30 pounds now. So I'm like really proud of myself. Just wanted to say that. But for now, I'll let you go. Have a good one, fall birdies. Bye. And have a wonderful day.